Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pizza Story podcast. I have Darius from Slice Street Pizza here today. Hey,
How's
how's it
it going?
going?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show.
Pleasure. I'm so sorry that all the other cool people in pizza dropped out and you had to interview me.
Not at all, not at all. I like the background. I really love when pizzeria owners do the Pizza Story podcast at their pizza place.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, I thought about doing it from home, some idyllic setting with trees in the background, maybe kids laughing. It's like, no, that's not my life, Mom.
Yeah, we want to see like people running around.
Right.
We want the music played. We want the boxes being folded.
A fire going on in the back. We're good. Everything's fine. Just business as usual.
Yeah, you getting the extinguisher, like putting it out during the podcast.
I can't catch on fire, Erica.
Very true, but you got to watch your beard.
True. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get started. I want to hear, everything, but let's start with your journey into pizza.
We got to congratulate you on the new studio. I understand it's all set up. I wish we could like see around what's going on in the studio, but congratulations. I'm glad everything's going well.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is just like our pizza inspired space, but we have a bunch of spaces set up, and this has been like a few months of like almost like renovations going on here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So my journey into pizza is like every other pizzeria owner out there. I mean, I'm a mortgage broker. That's what I've done, forever. I had an ad agency. We have that in common. Um, and I always loved food. My grandfather was in food. Being Greek and Persian, food culture runs very deep on those two ethnic lines. And I found myself in pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? I think was a question that I asked myself. I got tired of chasing commissions. Also, the market was kind of shifting when I was making this decision, so that kind of helped me a little bit.
Mhm.
And I think my first pizza memory, aside from just eating pizza with the family at home, was making pizza for my aunt and uncle who were visiting in town, and I failed it. Never made a pizza before, just epic failure. We used, I think we used the pizza stone that my folks got for their wedding. They never ever used. And I did everything, made the dough, stretched it out, put it on the thing, put it in the oven, forgot to flour the base. We were like scraping off of the pizza stone that night. It was a failure. Fast forward 20, 30 years, and I find myself with a pizzeria doing New York and Detroit style pizza in Dripping Springs, Texas, just outside of Austin.
Wow. So that's an incredible journey because so many people will like try to make pizza and then they'll just give up.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I think I probably did for a few years,
Yeah.
uh, maybe a decade, but
Wow.
did continue ordering it. We had a family tradition, which I think a lot of families did, whether it was a Thursday or a Friday. You know, pull out the white sheet, put it out on the family room floor, and Mom went to Blockbuster. We got a movie. I can't believe that I said that. But Blockbuster's not around anymore, and neither are those sheets probably. But
Mhm.
we had an awesome little family dinner. This was once a week with pizza. Most of the time it was Costco. So a lot of my memories surround that. And here we are, making again New York style and Detroit style. Why? Because they're my two favorite pizzas. Sometimes you're feeling like a thin crust, and sometimes you're feeling like a freaking focaccia. So there was a lot of R&D. It was like what 5 6 months of R&D, maybe more,
Wow.
uh,
So
making batches and batches per day.
wow, that's really cool. So basically, you start out as a kid, try pizza, give up pizza for a little while, but have this tradition where every Friday you guys are having pizza and you're having movie night, which by the way, Blockbuster is like such an 80s kid thing. Like that
We're
was like
listening to 80s music right now just to prove the
y-
point.
yeah, just walking through there picking videos and I remember doing that as a kid. But, so then you're a mortgage broker, and then what happens where you're like, "Okay, I'm done with this. I wanna make pizza."
Well, I saw a pizzeria in town that I wanted, and I reached out to the owner, with the opportunity. Hey, can we work together? Can we do something? Hey, maybe I buy it. Maybe I lease it from you. I
Mhm.
told a friend of mine, and he's like, we need to talk. We sat down and met together, and he gets me to talk about a franchise, and I hated the idea of a franchise. And at the end of the day, we didn't do the franchise. We did our own thing, partnership. Didn't work out as well as we wanted to. They're still great guys. We just didn't mesh. They wanted it to be more turn the switch and everything works right away. And these things take time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Uh, but I gotta say that that progression was very interesting because the things that I said I would never do, I found myself doing, and then very quickly tried to course correct. I'm like, whoa, 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 we're not going down the franchise road. We're not gonna do. But the world doesn't need another crap pizza. The world needs more real food, more. The artisans, the artisanal aspect is lost. Let's
Yeah.
bring it back, and it's not lost, but I mean, you just don't see it every day. And so for me, it was, well, what can I do? I'm going to be coming home and feeding my kids. I had three when we went down this road, and I got four now.
Wow.
Kids, not pizzerias. And I wanted to be able to bring something home that I wouldn't feel so guilty that I'm bringing home. So we were hunting down the best flour we could get our hands on, and we landed on Barton Springs Mill, non-GMO flour, milled the day before we get it. Uh,
Wow.
we tried to figure out what kind of a pizza dough are we going to do? Where's our hydration going to land? Can I get away with one recipe for two pizzas? And then we ended up going seed oil free in the dough using real extra virgin olive oil. Shout out to Corto. And then we started doing the 48-hour ferment,
Mhm.
which takes up a lot of room in your walk-in. So basically, my walk-in is only for dough. Um, and then, real ingredients, right? 5 ingredients: salt, flour, water, yeast, and olive oil. And then, what kind of cheese are we going to use? Well, we're not going to use anti-caking agents. We're either going to grate it ourselves, which we started doing, and then
Yeah.
maybe we'll go to Grande. We went to Grande, never turned back. So trying to produce something that is health adjacent, right? It's good for you in the sense that it's real food.
Yeah.
Real food is something that's lost today. So when
Yeah.
you say you're in hospitality, you say you're in food and beverage, and you're not actually nourishing someone, it's a stretch. So that was really the ultimate goal for me, and which put us in the ballpark of maybe this partnership is not what we thought it was going to be, and um, here we are.
Yeah, I respect that so much just because my family's pizzeria, it's been like that since day one. My dad goes to Italy. Have grated the cheese my whole life. We make our sauce, and it's just one of those things where, pizza started out being artisanal. Immigrants came over, pizzerias opened, and then suddenly chains took over. And I mean, honestly, the food just got shitty. And now finally we're circling back to this artisanal, high quality, amazing pizza, and I'm just very much here for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I live for it. That's what I want. I want you've heard people way smarter than me, been in this business longer, more successful, say things like that bread, that crust at the end is like a little it's a reward for finishing the pizza. We totally embody that. We have this saying here, trust the crust. And the idea is the crust is what? 80%, 70, 80% of what that pizza is, specifically by weight.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna just use whatever. No, no. So we started by stretching in flour, then we moved to stretching in semolina, which we absolutely love. Um, and trying to create something that when you taste it, that first bite is wow, and the last bite is wow. And that's what differs. You go get any other pizza, I'm not gonna knock them. They're good. They just don't finish the way that they start. Sometimes they don't start the way that they should, but the first bite is never as good as the last. I am embarrassed to say that I can crush an entire pizza, and
Me
you know,
too.
I don't feel like garbage if I had compared to like crushing another pizza. But I look like a pizzeria owner. Let's just let's just put it that way.
I mean, when it's there every day, we're like, we're not gonna pizza today, but just doing a pizza podcast, looking at your Instagram page and Instagram pages, it's like, you want pizza.
I can't believe I didn't think about this. I should have sent you a pizza. I
Oh,
should have. We should have. I should have done that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna send you pizza. I'm gonna send
okay.
you pizza, and you can get the whole. Well, you have to put it in the oven, unfortunately, but
Okay.
we'll have to make that happen.
I think I could do that.
I mean, you've got the background. I
Yeah.
listened to the interview that you did with your dad, which I thought was super cool. I thought I was listening to my dad, my grandfather talk about their life, and I love it. I mean, one of the reasons why food for me is hanging out with my grandfather. You know,
Yeah.
He had a Greek American Italian restaurant, the largest menu you've ever seen in your entire life. And the only way to hang out with him was to go work at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I like to say I got on the same highway as he did. I may have taken a couple different turns and we might be, exiting at different times and doing different things, but we got into it for the same reason to take care of the family, feed people, and do hospitality. There's nothing like the world has never seen Greek hospitality. It's like Italian hospitality, but it slaps you in the face.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So I want you to kind of take me down the road of Slice Street, and I want to talk about like the vibe of your pizzeria and the menu. And I mean, you've told me a little bit about your crust and your fermentation, which I absolutely love. But for someone coming in, like, what are really cool things to know about you guys?
Well, I have to say, I think that the flavor profile of the pizza is slightly different than what we're used to, right? New
Hmm.
York is generally a very clean, very white tasting flour, and it's iconic, right? And when we say New York pizza, you go to one guy's corner shop and you go to another guy's shop, and they both of those guys have a different interpretation of New York pizza. I
Yeah,
thoroughly believe that.
yeah.
So this is our interpretation, and I wanted there to be a little nuttiness, so I added more on the whole wheat side.
Mm,
It's not dark and heavy because sometimes when you do a real, whole wheat pizza, it can be a little bit on the heavier side. This is like just enough to notice there's a nuttiness, there's something different to the crust. So going back to the crust is the biggest thing that you're going to notice that's different from other shops. The next thing you're going to notice is when I say I'm putting butter on something, like we're in development right now with our we're going to call them garlic bombs. They're
mm,
like focaccia bite, our version of a garlic knot. We put real butter and lots of it,
nice.
and we mix with extra virgin olive oil. And that's the thing. When we say we're going to do something, we do the real way. We make like we're making at home, which is crazy. A lot of people look at me and say, "You can't do that." Well, that's how I want to do it. It might not make the most sense or dollars,
Yeah.
but it is the right way in my mind. Our slice of the month program started because I was doing a slice every day. And from a creative standpoint, it got very taxing about a year and a half in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have the capacity for a slice every day. My staff was helping me doing different slices, but we needed to be able to hone in on something. So we started the slice of the month program.
Hmm.
And the slice of the month is out there, wackadoo, different every single month. Our first slice
Wow.
of the month was our blueberry pie, blueberry brie, hot hatch chilies, hot honey, basil, insane flavor combo, texture combos. This
Wow.
past month, we just were closing out our pulled pork demi-glace pizza. Pulled pork. We worked with a local brewery to do a beer braised pork and demi,
Hmm.
Havarti cheese, uh, chives. I mean, it smells and tastes like a Sunday roast on a pizza.
Wow.
And next month, so October 1, we are launching. We're going to drop it here. No one has heard it yet. It's going to be the butter chicken pizza. And so we're working with the local Indian restaurant in our strip mall. They're providing us the simmer sauce. We're putting chicken, um, feta cheese,
Mm,
and cilantro with a coriander cream finish, and it is mind blowing. So I
wow.
like to do things that I like to do. I have very few creative expressions in my life. I'm not very artsy. At least I
Mhm.
say that. And then I do things like crazy pizzas and charcuterie boards. And all of a sudden they're like, what are you talking about? You're artsy. I'm like, this is food. To me, it's a different thing. So those are the kinds of stuff that I like to see as different, and I like the customer to come in and see, okay, it's a neighborhood pizzeria. It's OG in a sense, but it's modernized in the right ways that we believe enhance the product, that don't detract from the product. So I guess that was a very, very long way of saying that's what we do. Our vibe is crazy and zany and goofy, like me.
I love it. I love when the pizzeria sort of encompasses the person.
I mean, some people love it. I don't know. I mean, I think my wife is like, why is there a doll of you on the counter? Somebody gave me a doll and I put it on the counter. She's like, isn't that a little weird? I'm like, I mean, it's weird if somebody starts poking pins in it, but aside from that,
Like when she's mad at you.
what can I say?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So let's say that you're walking into your pizzeria on any given day. What are you eating?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying really hard to not. Like,
Yeah, me too.
I'm about to hit 40, about a year or two away from that, and went to the doctor for the first time in I think 5 years.
Mhm.
So let's just say I'm trying really hard to be good, but a slice of cheese is really underrated. It's really underrated. When I started this, it was all about more is more. I live in Texas. That is like our mantra,
Yeah.
and I think more is more. It's not better. Um, I like less is more. I like quality over quantity. I think our cheese pizza hits the nail on the head. Um, I'm a big fan of spice. So the hot honey adds a sweetness, but that with like a jalapeno and a banana pepper. We have a sweet heat that we add those two, and feta cheese with cupping pepperoni.
Mm,
So that's nice. Um, yeah, those are my. And then the OGs, like a Italian sausage and pepper, or onion and sausage, or yeah, it's simple is better to me. I used to go crazy. I mean, I still go crazy. Look at my slice of the day, but day in day out, the classics.
yeah, yeah, I agree. When I'm walking into a pizzeria, always the cheese pizza first.
Yeah, yes, that's
Yeah,
got to be a rule. Like you don't go. I go to my buddy's pizzerias. I go travel and I try someone's. I said, look, you can give me whatever you want. I'm going to order this, this, and that, but I need to start with the cheese so I know what we're dealing with as a base.
yeah,
And, oh, how does it oh, I like how he does that. I should try it. Like, oh, okay. And that camaraderie, that this industry, the camaraderie is amazing. I don't think it
yeah,
was always like that. I bet you and your dad and I could have a conversation and he'd tell me how, people were hiding their can labels and,
yeah,
whatever. But now it's, "What are you doing?" "Ooh, I should try that." "Hey, what's the cheese that you use? Who do you get this from? What tell me more." And I love that. I love the fact that we're sharing and learning and we're helping each other grow. The
yeah.
people that helped me when we first opened up, it wasn't like, "I'm not gonna tell you anything." It's like, "Oh, no, no, hey, you're gonna watch out for this, you're gonna watch out for that." The industry is the best.
It is bar none the best industry. I mean, you know this, you worked in the ad industry. I worked in the marketing industry for 20 years. That is a completely different animal than what you're dealing with these people in the pizza industry who are just like, it doesn't matter if they're right beside you and they're the competition. You're borrowing stuff from each other, you're helping each other fix stuff, and I just that's the probably the number one thing I love about the podcast is just how people in the industry treat each other.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's really special. Now I feel like I'm kind of in a desert.
Yeah,
That desert is Texas, and then when you drill down into my segment of the desert, Dripping Springs,
yeah,
it's far more deserted. We have a handful of pizzerias in town. We have a good working relationship. It's not the same as being in a big city. It's growing though. Like we have more and more really exciting pizza popping up in Austin.
mhm.
Uh, um, it's it's a fun time to be in the industry, and yet it's very confusing.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. So, where do you feel like you pull your inspiration for your pizzeria and all your ideas?
I gotta say, when I started, I had this. Whenever I dig into something, I dig in all the way.
Yeah,
So when I was doing food just for fun, and I was getting into molecular gastronomy and sous vide and all these different techniques, really
yeah,
like brainiac, not brainiac because I wouldn't be able to do it, but just stuff to get nerdy about. I got in deep. And with pizza, it was no different. I started researching pizza and reading about pizza and looking at origins and the stories and all of that. And I'm like, you put pineapple on my pizza, I will. That's not cool because I'm a traditionalist at heart. I wanted it to be that way. Then I'm like, wait a minute, how can I be that way in pizza and then not that way with the culinary world? Like I love branching out and breaking rules in the culinary world. I love riffing with my chef buddies and, just seeing if we can make a flavor profile work and pair this with that. If you get a chance, read the Flavor Bible, one of the most amazing books to show you how things can work together.
mhm,
But I started looking at it, it's not about a particular ingredient. How do you treat that ingredient? So if a chef can play with sweet and savory why can't I do that? Why can't I take my pineapple and roast it and toss it on the hot honey and add some seasoning and then put it on a pizza? So that's kind of the preface. And from there, that's where all the ideas come. They come from what are chefs doing, what my background is in Greek and Persian cuisine, what I wake up in the middle of the night thinking, ooh, that would be cool. What I saw on Instagram, what friends open a restaurant gives me an idea, and honestly, just letting people come in. So once a month, we're doing something called Slice Street Sessions. Every month is a volume. So volume one, two, three, we bring in a different band and we bring in a different chef, and the chef and I get to riff and come up with crazy stuff. And for one night, you come in, you order that, limited time menu, and it's like
Wow.
we just have fun. So you know, one of the guys says, "Hey, what about the pulled pork, for instance? What about Havarti cheese? Can we put sauerkraut on a pizza?" And then it's like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, how are we going to do this? Let's make sure there's not enough moisture or not too much moisture to ruin the crust. And, then I'm like, hey, this is sounding pretty German. What if we did a German pork and apple pizza? Schweinapfel was born, and we made for one night Schweinapfel pizza, which was pulled pork braised in beer with braised apples. Uh,
Wow.
we had caramelized onions, Havarti, and what else did we put? Ricotta florets on top, hot honey. It was mind blowingly good. And that just comes from talking.
Yeah.
Can we do it? What happens if we do it? I think being unafraid to break the rules,
Yeah.
or to rather acknowledge that I don't care. I just want to try it. And if you don't like it, it's okay. I'm making it because I think it's fun. And if you don't like it, I'm probably not going to make a lot of it. And if you like it, great, I might make more. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And it could be fun.
Yeah, I love that. The creativity and just different flavors and not being afraid to put things on pizza that you wouldn't normally put on pizza.
I did an octopus pizza the other day.
Mhm.
And people looked at me like I was crazy. It was absolutely delicious. I did a Greek style
Mm.
barbecue octopus and then marinated it in lemon and olive oil for a few days after it came off the grill. Put it on a pizza, basically like a kind of like a basic cheese base. Mind blown. I made Persian kubide kebab, which is, if you've never had it, it's out of this world.
Mhm.
Cut that into little pieces, put it on a pizza with samag. We did a really cool riff with a local barbecue chef, Kareem from KG Barbecue, and we put his kofta on a pizza. We put his brisket on a pizza. We've
Wow.
done Middle Eastern, just it's a blast. And it's at the end of the day, people think I'm nuts, and I probably am. This is 25 minutes of me showing how nuts I am, but you don't know until you try, and half of these things are actually going to taste good. And that's where the fun is. Oh, I got a little breast of duck. I'm going to make duck pizza. Ooh,
Yeah.
guess what? They forgot. They left me an extra case of eggplant. I'm going to roast the eggplant. Put a little bacon on the pizza. We're going to have a roasted eggplant bacon. Like, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
no, I'm done. I'm
no,
sorry.
you're good. Listen, in the early days of pizza, it was what are the ingredients that are available? What's growing in the garden? And that was like the OG focaccia, original, get it from the garden, and then the margarita pizza came along later.
Yes. Queen Margarita.
Yeah.
Queen Margarita. No, I mean, it's what other business can you what other business can you be in where you
Yeah.
get to come up with a random idea and then see what happens, and then you get to enjoy the taste or revel in the failure,
Yeah.
and you get to have fun. It is one of those businesses where I've never made as little money as I'm making right now and feeling more fulfilled. And part of it is the community, right? The
Yeah.
local community lifts you up, right or wrong, and
Yeah.
tells you your pizza's amazing. And so then you're like, we built something. But then you're looking at your bank account like, what did we build? I don't know if we built anything. The I told my dad the other day, I've never made so much money with so little effort, and I mean by like actual labor hours of my own,
Yeah.
right? Forget the stress and forget the effort and the lift of building the restaurant. Let's just forget about that for a second. Just week by week, month by month, wow, look at the money we're making. He's like, you're not making the money if unless you're keeping it. I'm like, well, just stop. Look at the money that we're making. Okay, yeah, you're right. We're not making any money. And I believe we're going to get there. Otherwise, why would I continue doing this?
Yeah,
And that's where you get, you got to get nerdy again. You got to look at every little thing. They told me, they told you, I'll tell you before you get in the business, that little bit of cheese, that's going to add up to thousands of dollars at the end of the year. That
yeah,
little piece over there, that's going to add up to thousands of dollars. If you can control all these little, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's debt by 1,000 pennies.
yeah,
And no other business that I've ever been involved in, nor consulted or helped or whatever in, has ever been this nuanced. To put it that bluntly, it's something else, but it's fun, it's rewarding, and
yeah.
it's tasty.
Yeah, there's really nothing like it, and I know with our pizzeria, it's like my dad was a math teacher, and he's a genius at tweaking the prices and knowing how much things are, and I'm not a person that has any mind of that, but I know marketing, so it was sort of like, "Hey, you just do what you need to do over there. I'm just gonna bring in more business than you can handle." And that's
Well, that
kind of my job is just that job.
I mean, you sell your way out, right? So even
Yeah,
if you've got a problem, you sell your way out of that problem. And I think I embody that. I mean, I try at the beginning trying to get the word out. Like we're on a major highway, but
yeah,
we're set back where you see us for like a split second, and we're behind an awesome ER, but it's hiding us. And so the beginning, it was like, let's get the product out there. So we did random acts of pizza, and we just drive into a neighborhood. I'd never scared so many people in my life. Like, hey, would you like a pizza? What are you doing here? Like, I promise you, I just made it. I own a pizzeria. I'm not a random, I guess I am random, but
I'm not trying
and
to
we just,
poison you.
yeah, and we just do little things like that. Show up at someone's place, show up at a bar, hand out free slices. um, it's the business where giving is everything. If you don't give in this business, you don't get. And it's very hard to come in with an investor mindset, to come in with a business mindset into this hospitality world where if somebody doesn't feel cared for, then all you're doing is a transactional business. And in that case, you've got a chain, right? That is going to sell it at the lowest possible cost and hope that you're going to come back just because it doesn't hurt so much to transact, not because you feel anything by being there.
Yeah,
And that's where this is so incredibly nuanced, because you and I have marketed businesses before,
yeah,
and you try to market on a feeling, you try to market on experience. At the end of the day, it's a value, it's an economical discussion. This tips the scales in ways you don't expect.
yeah, yeah, I understand that, definitely. Now, what has pizza meant for your family?
Dad's not home for dinner, which I'm very sad and embarrassed about.
Yeah,
Um, I was the dad who came home for dinner almost every night.
mhm,
I wanted that. I still want that.
yeah,
Um, then after COVID, I was working from home. So I was the dad that never left. So my wife could drop the baby on my lap and I'd, have the baby going and talking on, yes, Mr. Johnson. No, yeah, 2.99. It's a great rate. We're going to take care. Like,
yeah,
you know, and that's gone. What was the question? That's what it's meant. It's meant an utter sacrifice
yeah,
of the things that I was a never work on Sundays guy.
yeah,
And here I am, or not anymore, thank God, but I was working on Sundays. I'd be in church with the kids,
yeah,
and I'd get a phone call. So and so didn't show up. We're
yeah,
out of cheese. Why the heck are we out? I mean, and I'm sitting there like, okay, we're gonna, see you guys. I know I said I was gonna be, yeah, okay. Coaching soccer. My dad coached me through soccer. I
yeah,
couldn't do any of that. And when I did, I paid the price, and I'd have to leave the field and run back 50 minutes because I live far away from the shop.
yeah,
And so it's meant, first of all, not self-diagnosing. My wife has diagnosed me with ADD, and
okay,
and she's like, "You're in too many different places at the same time. You don't know your head from your tail."
mhm,
Okay, great. Yep, that's me, I guess. And I'm all over the place, and I'm not as present. I'm being real. That's what
yeah,
it's meant. Now, what has it meant? Well, my son comes to me the other day. This is the positive side, and he's like, "Dad, I'm just so so grateful that you have a pizzeria."
wow,
He's an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Why? What? Why is that? And he goes, well, because he goes, sometimes there's nothing to eat at home, which is utter, you know what, but you're a kid. Sometimes there's nothing to eat, and if you didn't have a pizzeria, and I'm like, that's not what I expected him to say. I told my wife, she's in stitches, but the kids love it. Can I go to the pizzeria and make a pizza with you? I have a new idea for a pizza. My daughter says we're gonna put tater tots on it. I'm like, not a bad idea.
Wow.
So, there is silver lining. The kids and I get to, bond over making pizza. Now that I'm back to being home more, I bring them dough balls and we bake bread together. Um, we get to go to a couple restaurants and hotels around here that serve my product. And the kids, it's really cute to see them say, "Hey, Papa, are we ordering your pizza? Are we ordering
Aw.
your dough?" And it's like, yeah, I guess that's why you have kids, to make you feel good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
It's a big commitment, but it's a big blessing, and I believe that this is we're at the ground floor, Erica. This is just less than 2 years in business. We have a growing, I wouldn't say thriving, but we have a growing wholesale bread program,
Mm,
uh, where we just officially crossed the threshold of more pizzas going out the back door than out the front door, which is crazy, because the back door has less labor than the front door.
yeah,
And so we're having fun, and the possibilities of where this can go. There's no ceiling. It could either flop because of my stupidity, or it could go to new heights. And I'm very grateful that I've got this opportunity. I'm very grateful that I was able to find a way to buy my partners out and hunt this dream the way that it should be hunted, in an authentic, true to self form.
yeah,
Um, and I'm honestly so honored to be able to have conversations like this and call it work,
yeah,
and get to meet people like you and folks in the industry that have done it, for decades, have actually been successful at it, and to be able to share war stories and learn. It's a really cool opportunity.
yeah, yeah, I agree. You have to really love it, and there is a lot of sacrifice, but there's a lot of reward with it too.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. So, if someone needs to find you guys, what is the best way to find you?
So Instagram is something that we spend far too much time on. Remember, I said I wasn't very present when I'm around. It's
Yes.
fortunately doing a little too much Instagram.
Okay.
We're at Slice Street Pizza on Instagram, slicestreetpizza.com. Um, you can come by Dripping Springs just outside of Austin, um, and try a slice and have the slice of the month. You'll never know how crazy it is.
Awesome. Well, Darius, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you. I love the pizzeria. I love the creativity. And it just, for me, opens up a whole nother, insight of like, hey, these guys are down in Texas and they're doing it this way. And so it's just really refreshing to see it and hear it and just to know you.
Well, it was the pleasure's mine. Again, I'm sorry that all the other people canceled last minute. And you had to pick me, but whenever you're in Texas, we'll have a slice for you, and you'll see why we like to say trust the crust.
Yeah, I want to go on the national US pizza tour. I'm about to go to Italy for a little pizza tour, but I
Yeah,
want to do a US one.
come here first, so you don't judge us off of Italy. You judge us off of something else.
I'm sure it's amazing. The Instagram page is absolutely incredible. And guys, go follow them. If you're in Texas, stop by, eat some pizza. They have such a good vibe.
Hey, thank you, Erica, so
Yeah.
very much. My best to you and the family. Tell your dad I can't wait to meet him. After that interview, I can't wait.